Hi, welcome to my channel in Conversation with Nivedita. Today I have with me a Vidya Star student sharing with us her amazingly inspiring story. For her, obstacle is the way, looks like. Life threw many obstacles almost every day in the form of what have you, socioeconomic condition, dysfunctional family, mental illness, doesn't matter what. And yet today she's standing tall as an example of what one can achieve despite and in spite of it all. She is indeed a star alumni of VIDYA School Gurugram, a school for the underprivileged children who went on to study in one of the most elite institutions of the country, Lady Shri Ram College, no less. Wait, before we go ahead, have you subscribed to this channel? Go ahead and do that, for we will get to learn about education and its power of empowerment together. I am Nivedita, and with me I have today Sanjana Nagar. Hello, Sanjana. Thank you for coming in.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for having me for this talk. It's really an honor for me.
Oh, it's absolutely a pleasure, Sanjana, to see you. I saw you many years ago as a young, confident, well-spoken child on the stage of Vidya. And when I hear of you doing voluntary work, studying in LSR, it is a matter of reflected halo for me, a reflected pride for me as a teacher and as a Vidya friend. And do share with us how did your journey begin of what we see of Sanjana today and what it was for possibly 10 years ago when you were very little.
So, my journey at Vidya began in the year 2004, when I was just 4 years old.
Oh.
And the interesting thing to note about the admission process is that my documents weren't complete, so I was denied the admission. But then the principal that time, she came and she asked all the children that were there at that time, who wants to study? And everyone just, snuggled at parents and they were like very reluctant. But I was the only one who was like that, yes, ma'am, I want to study. And she picked my little finger and we walked inside the school. And that is where it all began. And over the years, I have been transformed into this young, confident person who is unafraid to do whatever feels the right thing to do. So, yes, that is how it all began.
How wonderful is that? It just gives me, there's a little warm glow in my heart to hear and imagine the little Sanjana who held a little finger and walked into the school. Would you like to share some of the important, significant memories from your time with Vidya, which made a difference in your student life?
I think that one of the important aspects was that I was given a chance to hone my public speaking skills.
Okay.
Yes, so since I was in class 5, I have been doing public speaking. I have been winning competitions in elocution, in debates and declamation in the school. And that was one of the things that I always wanted to be on the stage. And I even tried to continue that thing in my college life as well when I joined the theater society. But unfortunately, because of the commitment issues, I had to let go of it. But even right now, I am always ready to just speak my heart out without any hesitations. And apart from that, I was also the only person ever in the school's history till now to have been awarded the Science Olympiad Foundation's Girl Child Scholarship. And even though the nominations are made every year, and nominations come from all across the country, but I was one of the fortunate people to get selected for that. Apart from this, I would also like to mention that when I was in class 9th, I was selected as one of the KPMG scholars, the Aspire program that was then just in its incubation stage. So I was one of the first 5 girl child who were there in the school who were selected for this program. And throughout the journey, I was given special trainings for like English communication, technology courses like NIIT Institute, where we learned advanced Excel, C language, which is a coding language programming. That is the thing that I learned in school, whereas people learn that in college. And I have also been fortunate to speak at the Global Partners Meet of KPMG about my inspiring journey that has been there. And apart from that, I remember that it's it's not just these big memories that I have. It's those small memories where we are in the principal's office, where we are trying to, sort of practice for the events, or we are trying to give suggestions that, this is how we could make the school better, or we are trying to communicate with our juniors that this is the way you could reach where you are right now. The house meetings, the activities that we were involved in the classrooms regularly, that has my heart. Even like i have I have passed out 4 years back, but today also I see Vidya and myself in the uniform in my dreams. So that is the kind of connection that I have with the school.
What would you say some of the skills and attitudes that you developed that are continuing to help you even as you are in higher education?
So one of the things is the determination and to expand the horizon, because I see that where we come from, like the background where we come from, the children at Vidya at large, we have very small aspirations. As in, like we have seen our parents working day in and day night, day out to actually make the meets end.
Right.
And it is a sort of like your life is just about that, where you are living at, uh, you are trying to make the needs meet, and it's like it's it's just that. It's not like you are ambitious. Even if you are ambitious, there are so many restrictions. But at Vidya we were taught that you have to just dream whatever you want to. We are there to support you. So I think that one of the attitudes that I learned was that I have to do what I want to do. Other things will be managed themselves. I just have to prove myself that this is what I am, and that people would be ready to support me. That is one of the ideas, that I need to be unafraid and determined and confident. Other thing was that I should not let my circumstances define me. So even after that, even after knowing that my cousins back at village are getting married when I was in class 12 and they have kids now, and I would have met the same fate. But the fact that I was always a good student actually made sure that I did not end up getting married and just restricting myself to the patriarchal roles. So that is one of the things. And another is to always keep learning. So I think that I am going to be a learner for life who actually tries to learn anything new. I have varied interests, so to keep an open mind and to learn whatever is coming your way. So reading is very important to keep yourself updated about the things.
Share some of the things you're doing. I was looking at your profile and I thought, my God, is she studying? Is she working? Is she volunteering? Is she teaching? What all is she doing at this point in time? Do share what all are you doing and how you're managing all of that.
Okay, so throughout my college life, the things that I have done are of varied interests, of course, that I mentioned earlier. And it was there in school time as well. I was there in singing, I was there in poetry, and all sorts of things. So at college level also, I participated in one or two MUNs, Model United Nations. And I was a part of theater that was like a play that was showcased on the occasion of philosophy department's fest. So I was a part of that. And I did open mic poetries on the weekends. Some of them might still be available on YouTube. So that is one of the things. And volunteering, I think that my first preference was always my home, that is Vidya. That I would always want to come back. And even though NSS, I joined NSS. And when I got to know that Vidya is one of the NGOs that LSR is working with, I just straight away went and I said that I want to volunteer only with Vidya. So I went to the Bal-Vihar Center. I used to teach kids over there. I was looking after the IIT centers, English communication classes, and all of that. So this is what I did. I even joined many other organizations. And right now, when I was in my final year, was I used to have this itch to do something bigger or to make an impact at a larger level. So I started researching a little and trying to develop a little sense of self awareness that what do I want, what are the issues that are core to me, and what are the things that I value the most. So on the basis of that, I got to know about Girl Up campaign, which is a campaign started by United Nations back in 2008. And the major objective was to strive for gender equality in various things like reproductive health, mental health, education, STEM, through advocacy and through organizing events. So I applied and I formed my own club. I founded a club of my own. I invited people to join in. And now we have a team of about 15 to 20 people. And we organize events. We go to places in Delhi sometimes to volunteer. And we have been able to reach more than 1,000 people in the past few months through our endeavors in online mode.
Wow.
So this is all that I am doing right now.
Just, just about all that you're doing. I, I'm myself quite inspired hearing you, Sanjana. It is. I'm sure Vidya children, Vidya students who are yet to join or are across the country studying with Vidya, and most definitely Vidya School Gurugram will be inspired by this. I want to also know what were one or two of the big obstacles that you faced while achieving this and how you navigated, because sometimes we get very overwhelmed with the obstacle. Maybe we are going through all the other obstacles, but one or two of them will come and will completely blow up on our face and we lose it. So I'm sure in your journey you would have faced one, two of those, and how did you navigate through those? It would be of great help to students.
Right. So I think that one of the obstacles that I faced was within my family, that the environment while growing up was very turmoil. I used to dread going back to home from school, and it was almost as if like I just did not want to face my problems because there would only be shoutings, yellings. Sometimes the food would not be cooked, and I would not be able to study at home at all. So these things used to frustrate me out a lot. And then I realized that it's not that I can't do anything about it. I can. But I did not know the way out of it because we were taught that in our societies we are taught that the घर का जो matter होता है वो बाहर नहीं जाना चाहिए. So that kind of a thing that I was facing, I didn't know who to talk to about. And then what I did was that there was this session that was organized at school where we learned about drug abuse, substance drug abuse, and how it affects the brain and all of those things. And those gave me a lot of insights about what is happening back at home because my father was a alcoholic and it was definitely hampering his thinking and cognitive abilities. and he was not even earning. He was not employed for many years. And sometimes he was even wanting to quit, but he could not, because it's not just out of choice that you quit one day.
Right.
It is a long process. So I talked with the people in my home that this is not just this, we need to have a proper treatment. And that is how we got in contact with the government hospital psychiatry ward. And we did. My mother, I think that she's an incredible woman that took the initiative throughout. And after 1 year or so, he was actually just completely a different person. Now that I see him, I feel very proud that he was this person who used to yell and shout at us all the time. We would not get the love that we wanted, but now that I see him, I feel that all of that was worth it. The resources and all the energy that all of us put to get him back. So that was one of the major obstacles. And I'm being so emotional right now about this. And the other obstacle I faced was when I entered LSR, which happens to be a very elite institution. And it's like you face a cultural shock when you enter an environment like that, where everyone is different. And I believe that I was no less than them. But somewhere my confidence did get shattered for a while. And because, that in imposter syndrome started coming in, that, that I am not good enough, I can't do this. All through my life, I was like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do that. But now I am like, I can't do this. I am not good enough. I am not good enough. I am good for nothing. It was all because of luck, but now I am nothing. So that was the attitude that I formed, and I just became very secluded from everyone. But then I talked to different people that this is what I am going through. I'm unable to understand. I was diagnosed with some of the things, but then I overcame those things, and I was like that slowly. It was not just that suddenly I overcame it and now I am back to this new person entirely, but it was a process. So, for example, if I was afraid to apply for something, I would not reject myself, that I would still apply. If I get rejected, that is another matter, but I would still apply. So I let go of those fears and all of the insecurities that I have. And that was one of the biggest setbacks that I have had. And but it has made me like, there is this quote that I read that when you are trying to break, it's actually the light is going to shine out. And that is what happened, I guess, that dark phase, I hit the rock bottom, but only to bounce back even stronger. So I think these were the major setbacks.
Wonderful. I think we all have various levels of setbacks at various times of our lives, and if possibly we can remember this, that this too shall pass, and I will be able to work through this. And I love
Yes.
the way you said that you didn't reject yourself. It's okay if the application gets rejected, if it doesn't, you don't succeed through it, but you first, acceptance is for yourself first. Don't reject
Yes.
yourself. So I think that's a very, very, very powerful thought, that I think we should leave our audiences with. Thank you, Sanjana, for joining today. It has been absolutely a very heartwarming session, I should say. It leaves me little nuggets of memories of what I saw you as a young girl and what I see you today as a lady who is out there working with many and supporting many, and with the attitude of, as you said, I can and I will. Thanks for joining today. And I know there is so much to be done to reimagine education, as we know. There is this is a story of showing a way to equity, inclusion in the world of education, and that will come out as a very inclusive in this diverse world.
Right.
I wish you and your team and Team Vidya all the best. And thank you. Thanks again for joining, Sanjana. So if you'd like
Thank
to
you.
hear more of what is happening in education, subscribe to this channel so that you're alerted of new content. Happy learning in the meanwhile. Bye for now. From lifelong learning wow of Sanjana, and from a teacher who enjoys the journey of teaching and learning. Thank you very much.